Hey guys, so today we have another Transformer custom review, specifically a direct comparison between the MHZ Optimus Prime, which is on the left, and the Byway Optimus Prime, which is on the right side. So the total one that we're looking at is the MHZ Optimus Prime. The code number is MHM01, while the Byway one is TW1030. Let's take a look at the figures and figure out the main difference first. So pull both of them closer. Let's take the no ideas out of the way. So those are the two different no ideas. One comes with the MHZ Optimus Prime, the other one comes with the Byway. You can see that the no ideas on Byway is also smaller and actually less articulated in comparison to the one that comes with the MHZ. So pull both of them closer. So the first difference you can notice right away is that the smoke tag over here, they actually go sideways just like how the original Studio Series 102 have. But on the Byway one, because they fixed this smokestack, is actually articulated, so you can actually take out this smokestack, just pull it up like that, and because of that you can actually change the orientation of where you point the smokestack to. That can make the figures look a little more accurate, as you can see in here, because in the movie model the smokestack of Optimus Prime actually point backward instead of pointing to the side. Another very noticeable difference between those two figures is that in the chest of the Byway Optimus Prime, we actually have the matrix of leadership embedded inside here, while for the MHZ one, we actually have just a blank chest. But of course, when you take them closer, both of them look like this because they are custom painted. The original one for MHZ will only have the red plastic colors going through there, while for a Byway one, most of them will still look like this, but then this specific piece that connect the neck to the chest region will still be red plastic. But those are another different matrix of leadership. And then as we go down to the abdominal region, most of them look very similar in this part. But as we go down to the waist region on the Byway, their die-cast part will be the two side curves part that I'm pointing at right now. While for the MHZ one, our die-cast part will be on the thighs over here, like those two big thighs. They's very cold and they's made of entirely die-cast metal, so that's why the MHZ one actually heavier than the Byway one. Not only because that is bigger, so it has more plastic, but also that it has more die-cast part inside the thigh, as opposed to only the two curved piece we have on the Byway one. And as we go down to the legs, you'll see that of course the coloration over here, like on the thighs here, those pieces are a little different. On the Byway one, they are darker in colors for those in comparison to the MHZ one. And as we go down to the leg, we see that we also have some molded different as well. Like those piece on the side, this one on the double joist, this one only a single joist, and the moldings are also different. And we can see that the wheels are of course also different as well, not only in terms of how big they are and whether they're single or double. Even the molded inside the wheels, they actually different as well. As we turn the figure, look at the wheels for the back, you can already tell that for the MHZ one, we have a set of double wheels. So in total, we have 8 wheels on 2 legs. While on the Byway one, we only have 4 wheels. But those wheels is not regular wheels, they are thicker than the regular wheels that we have up here on the chest. The wheel on the chest for both of the figures are the same. One at the back of the figures or on the legs, they are different, as you can see in here. This big wheel is less accurate, but still work out as the back wheel for vehicle mode. And as we look at the back of the figures in here, there's no other significant difference between the two. There's some slight coloration difference. For example, those parts on the MHZ one, they're silver, right on the arm side here. Also, side mirror of the truck bolt is also silver, versus on the Byway one, those are just red plastic colors. In this case, the MHZ one actually have more colors on the arm as opposed to the Byway one. But then the Byway one doesn't lose out all the time. Specifically, as we go down to the back of the legs here, we see that on the MHZ one, it's all just silver. But on the Byway one, they actually have 2 different tones of silver. So on the thigh, it's silver colors, but then on the inner thighs, closer to the crotch region, we actually have a different colors for this piece over here. It's more gunmetallic colors. And of course, when we look into the feet, we see that for the MHZ one, they actually have the backlight red colors here, versus on the Byway one, that molded part is not even there, and it's just blue and gunmetallic. Also tidy up their connection on the vehicle mode more on the Byway one, so that it could get rid of this big connection joints that we have on the MHZ one right here. That is lacking on the Byway one, so it actually look better in robot mode. It's not sticking out as much even when you look at the fronts like this. So you can see that for the MHZ one, they have that piece that we cannot hide away. So that's another downside for the MHZ one. Okay, let's look at the side. So we see that for the side, there's not much that got changed. Of course, the smokestack got changed, as I mentioned earlier, that this one can be adjusted now, so it will be more accurate to the movie model. The head of the figures, they actually a little different as well. So you can see that for the MHZ one, they actually more pointy ears, versus on the Byway one, there's more of rounded ear. When you turn them to the side, so how they look like. As the back of the figure, and also difference on the MHZ one, it's got more silver down as almost your neck region, the back neck region for the head, versus on the Byway one, it's just a solid piece of metallic blue. But yeah, that's another difference. So on the Byway one, all of the blues, they have metallic blue, versus on the MHZ one, they are all just plastic blue. So if you look closer, have them in hand, the Byway one actually look a little better in terms of that coloration. And then the other part, the MHZ one would lack colors on those arms over here. So those are just my custom painted color. The original color will be just a piece of solid plastic red. Versus on the Byway one, those are colored right from the get-go. So those parts has more colors than the MHZ one. As well as for the chest region, as I mentioned earlier, those chests on the original MHZ will be just red plastic, versus on the Byway one, most of them will be covered with colors, except only this piece that connect the neck and the chest region for the Byway, which will stay in red plastic colors. Those are the main difference on the figures. Let's take a look at the accessory, because that is also where they differ a lot in terms of advantage and disadvantage of those two figures. So let's look at the Byway one first. All of these accessories that I have in here, they belong to the Byway one. So specifically we have one axe, of course this custom painted, and then we have of course the back of the truck that's not painted here, and then we have a shotgun that come in the Bumblebee movie for Optimus Prime. Let's put it down there. And then we have, of course, two arm guns that come in the rotb. Let's put them there. And then we have two energon swords. And those two energon swords actually have the orange going throughout, hinting that those are turned on and they're ready for battle with the energon energy in there, which looks really nice. And then of course we have the small Byway no ideas figures here. This one is a mini figures, but it's have very good articulation. But of course it's because we have to assemble this by ourselves. All of the connection joints, they're actually just plastic that got sticking together. They are not connected via a pin, like metal pin, like the one on the MHZ no ideas that you see later. So here's the back look of the no ideas figures. So this no ideas figure actually have a totally different mold in comparison to the MHZ one, which we will see later. Let's put it there. And then that mini figures actually come with lots of accessories by itself as well. So it's come with two swords. Oh, actually those two swords belong to the MHZ one. My mistake. So those two arms with the sword. So the sword on the no ideas figures from Byway, they are connected to the arm. They molded into the arm like this. So those are the exchangeable arm. And then we have two guns, exchangeable arm. for this Byway no ideas figure as well. And then we have another exchangeable head, because for the no ideas figures for Byway, they don't have the bone joint neck, they only have a peg like this. And because of that peg, when you plug it on, you can only turn the head from side to side, so he cannot look upward to recreate the scene where, like, in the end of the movie. So that's why they have to put this, so that when you plug it on, it will look up a little bit, so you can kneel the figures down so he will look forward to replicate that scene from the movie. So that is another main difference for those two figures, well, the no ideas figures. Let's put the head down, and then of course we have the hologram art for the Byway Optimus Prime over here. And then we also have another extra piece for the Byway figures. This is so that it can be connected to the back of the no ideas of the Optimus Prime figures like this. And then you can put the jetpack from the Studio Series 44 or from the KO version of the Studio Series 44 Optimus Prime from Byway on here, so that the jetpack would be compatible with the Byway one. So that's also another playable feature. Of course, in the movie, he doesn't have that BAIWEI jetpack, but that's another thing you can do if you have the Byway Optimus figures. Then let's look at the MHZ one. So the MHZ one, of course, is our main figures, but he also comes with a lot of accessories. So first, two energon swords, but they don't have the orange colors. They have a different mold in comparison to the sword that come with the Byway figures. The Byway figures actually have a more intricate sword, in my opinion. The sword is more accurate to the movie. It looks really good, and of course have many different shades of colors. In the middle of the weapons, this is gunmetal ray, and then this piece will be silver colors, and then we have the orange colors going throughout. So they have three different shades of colors just on the weapons, the energon sword, while on the MHZ one, they just a solid piece of silver. So this looks a little more boring. And then of course, they also have two arm gun for the Arrive the Beast movie, but those arm gun actually worse than the one on the Byway figures, because on the Byway figures you see that firstly for the mold we see that we have an extra piece here that can be, when you plug onto Optimus Prime, it's give an illusion that this is actually transformed out of the arm of Optimus Prime. So mold wise, this is better. The color too. So I think, well, actually the four colors I give them fair point. This one just look better because I custom paint this more. I didn't custom paint this one. That's why it look really boring in colors. But then the main things that got this over this is that we don't just have a hole here for the connection joints, but now we have an extra peg for the Byway figures. So when we actually connect the weapon to the arm of the figures, as you can see in here, those peg and hole, the pegs on the arm here will go into this hole, and then that peg will go into this hole. So we have a double connected joint. So it's actually make the connection much more solidified. So the weapon can actually stay on, and you can play with this, would not come out easily. So that is really good, because initially when I get this MHZ figures, on the other hand, the connection is only 1 point connection. And like this. It's only that peg, and look at that, how tiny and how short that peg is. Because of that, the connection is very hard to connect into this piece right here. And even when I connect, you can knock them down very easily because this peg is just very tiny, and then this hole is not the tightest things that they actually get into. So yeah, for the weapon, definitely the Byway one win for at least the Rob the Beast gun. But let's go on with accessories. So the accessory, another one that we have for the MHZ will be this shotgun for the Bumblebee movie. Of course, this shotgun also different from the one from Byway. they have not only the mold is different. If you look at like the cartridge of the missile here, you see that they're actually different mold, entirely different mold, not just the colors here, of course, that have two different colors, the bronze and black. This one only solid black plastic. The mold are also different, and that's very interesting. But I do like this one more because it has more colors. But the shape, I think I like the one on MHZ more. It's more accurate to my memory after watching the Bumblebee movie. I think this one looks just better in terms of the mold. But the colors, the Byway one have the colors. Then of course this one also have the hologram Earth, but of course you see the two hologram Earths actually different. And because the Byway figures is smaller figures, but the hologram Earth is actually at the same size as the one that come with the MHZ one. So I think it actually look pretty good because this, when you plug it onto the arm, Optimus look bigger in relatively to the size of the figure itself, and the color is darker as well. Well, actually, I think the lighter colors look kind of good as well in their own turn. But then look at the axe. We also have an axe for the MHZ one, and of course, it's also different in comparison to the Byway one. The Byway one, they make another extra joys over here, extra pack, so that it can be packed directly onto the back of the figures for weapon storage, just like that. So it's more convenient. While for the MHZ one, they actually give it an extra piece that can be plugged on here, and then with that extra piece, you can put do weapon storage on the back of the figures. So that extra step and extra part, and I just think the Byway one did it more conveniently. But of course, this doesn't look as good. And the axe for the Byway one is a little too small. But it also have more colors too. This one also just one piece of plastic with like gunmetal ray colors. While for the Byway one, they have bronze colors and black colors. And then for the MHZ one, the connection joys will not be solid like this. They actually have a part at the end of the axe, so you have to take this off before you plug the weapon onto the figures, and then you can put this back on. So I think that's look better. That actually look better than this one, which is just a very simple connection joy. You basically just plug it on here. And I think in terms of the axe, the MHZ one actually have a better axe in here. And then if we continue, so those are the common. Of course we also have like two part forming part just to make the vehicle mode look more accurate. Those are different between the two figures, but they are very comparable. Now come to the uncomparable part. Of course, the Byway one have this extra part to connect to the jet wing, but the MHZ one, they have an extra gun, and this gun is the original mold from the Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime from the Bride of the Beast movie. So this is an extra part. And then we also have the hologram transwarp case, which is also an extra part that the Byway figurines doesn't come with. And not only that, we also come with an actual transwarp key, and they actually on the same size, as you can see. The actual transwarp key and the hologram are the same size. So though Byway one just doesn't have them. And then we come to the No Ideas figures. Of course, look at this. They look fancy with all the different colors. And the articulation on this is better, way better than the one on Byway. Just look at the head. Like it have the bone jaw, so you can look up like this. You don't even need to use an alternative head for it. And look side to side. It have even two different colors too. Like the color for the face mask is actually different from the rest of the figures. And then of course we have different arm part. Those are actually connected via pin joints. They are metal pin joints. So they're not gonna go anywhere. Of course, they can get loose like this because it's just a bone joist. But other than that, all of the connection for the elbow and the thighs or the knees here, they are metal pin. So it's not gonna go anywhere. So internal articulation between those two NOA actually very like the MHZ one. And for the Byway one, because on the arm here, we only have a peg, so it can only go up and down like this for the arm. And then for the bicep swivel, we have to rely on that swivel. But for these figures right here, we have a bone joint. So there's just a lot more range of articulation in comparison to the smaller Byway no ideas. You can't really raise the arm up like that, like this. Can only do that on the MHZ one. And then of course for the MHZ one, we don't even need to change out the arm to get accessory. For example, if you want to put a gun on here, you have to switch out the whole arm just to get a gun on. Same thing to the arm with the sword weapon. Versus on the MHZ one, those are actually just pluggable. So the original arm is on here, and then you just have to plug in the weapon. So I already plugged in the gun arm that we see in here, but in here they actually have that arm. If you don't want to have the gun on here, you can just take it off. And not only that is better, the sword is also plugged on. As you can see, they come separately and they just plug directly onto the arm. But they also come with blast effect. Those are the gun blast effect that I plug on to the no ideas figures. And then they also have the blast effect for the back of the figures. Look at this. The thruster at the back also have its own blast effect. How cool is that? So definitely for the no ideas figure, I think the MHZ one have definitely a better one. And the back design for those two are also wildly different. I don't know which one is more accurate, but I like the look of the MHZ more. This one still look very good, but of course it's not compatible with any of their blast effect. Yeah, so those are another main difference with the MHZ. So in overall, the MHZ one actually come with a lot more accessories. But the downside is that this guy is too big to scale with any of the Studio Series figures. So for example, if you put in the Studio Series 15th anniversary Optimus Prime right here, you can see that even the Byway one is already taller than that Optimus. So like those two are roughly the same size, so they might scale well with the Studio Series figures. This one will not scale well with any of the Studio Series figures, but he's too small to scale with any of their masterpiece or oversized MPM figures. So I don't know what you can really use this MHZ Optimus to scale with. The only thing that's come to mind is the YOLO part skirt figures, because those model kit is a little bigger, that's like 8 or 9 inches tall, so they may scale well. Actually seen some pictures, so this guy scale well with a model kit skirt from YOLO part. Where other than that, you are very limited with the option for display. But as a standalone figure, this guy is pretty good as well. So he has definitely more accessory and he has a way better no ideas figures. But for the Byway Optimus Prime, in overall, I think it scaled well with the Studio Series. You have a lot of display option with this guy. He can hold his weapon very well. And then of course he has a more accurate smokestack. He also comes with a good enough number of accessory and a good enough no ideas figure as well. He is not bad. I actually like this one more mainly because he holds the gun. And then the joints on the figures that I have for the MHZ one is actually feel a little loose, especially on the arm. Versus on the Byway one, everything is tight. So I don't have any problem with playing or displaying these figures. And after I custom painted them, because the Byway one have more of a reflective metallic color scheme on not only the blue part, but also on the silver part. So after I custom painted him, I just think he looks better as opposed to the MHZ one, which have more of a dull colors, not really reflective metallic. So that's another reason why I like the Byway more. But yeah, that's my comparison. Let me know what you think about those two. If you want any of them, they're already available on both AliExpress or some of the other third-party websites, or even on Amazon. But of course on Amazon they run for a more expensive price, around like $40 instead of $20 on AliExpress. So if you want them, good luck hunting. Hey, you. Yes, you. Subscribe to our channel. Please, otherwise Megatron might kill me again. And no, I'm not kidding. He's right there. Hey, Josh. So please, subscribe. I don't want to be back in 2 pieces. Your subscription means a lot to us.